Everything is alleged in my opinion. Let's get into it.
I was his quote unquote like, thank you. I was not his assistant. Basically, my job to help him, how can I say it, be a better person basically online. So back then, this is when the time when he was with his family and he was engaged, got engaged and stuff like that, when he was playing the family man. Because that's what my brand is. My brand is about, hi honey, thank you. My brand is about family, love, positivity, these things that, so that's why I took a step back. Because when they start getting too much, too negative, and there's always going to be a little bit of drama. That's just how it goes. But if it's not my forte and it's not what my brand wants to, show, I'm not going to, be all into it or have the motivation to be into something, that I wouldn't represent. But anyway, I was not his assistant. I was like his PR rep assistant. So it was like I gave him advice. And a lot of times he did take my advice, I will say that. And a lot of times, like certain times when he got quiet and they was like, oh, Blueface is quiet. Half of them times I can say is because I told him to shut that F up. Like, don't say nothing. Just because no matter what he would say back then, everybody would flip it around. People would make it more than what it is. He was a guy. He made some bad decisions. So no matter if he was telling the truth or not telling the truth, they was going to spin it anyway. So what was the point of saying anything? So not all the time, but I would say half of the times he was quiet back then, it was because I told him to be quiet. And I have receipts of everything I would talk about, everything I'm saying. I just, as a professional, don't always post or don't have to post certain things, because when you know, or I would ask permission first. Secondly, the one time that when he was crashing out, and everybody's saying he was crashing out for other reasons, which he wasn't. He was crashing out because of his own fault, obviously, but he was crashing out because Jaidyn left him. She took the kids. He was so happy he finally had his second chance. She came back, because when she first came back, it was for security purposes, but a lot of people don't know, because a lot of the fans start getting crazy. They start threatening her. Mind you, she lived in an apartment building, threatening to show up to her apartment building, threatening to do this and that and the third. Mind you, she has a son and a baby. First of all, who would threaten somebody till you would do that? But people do that. They was exposing her address. She lived in an apartment building, no security. That was one of the major reasons he told her to come back to his house. At least it's a locked community. Nobody could just walk up in there. So that's when she came back. But when she came back, she made it clear that they still weren't in a relationship. They're always going to be friends. They're always going to be family, obviously. I know that for a fact. I've been with my kid's dad off and on for about, I'm going to say 17 years now. But for people to automatically assume that she just going to let him go or not be cool with him, different things that, and the third, it's kind of hard. Like, that's all she knows. It's not an excuse, but that's the only man she's ever been with. That's the only person she ever knows, knew in that intimate type of way. That's her kid's father. And as she stated before, she didn't have a father. Her father was in jail most of her life. So the people, and that too, the people that was like making fun of her or saying stuff because she was Mexican, and it's not that she don't embrace her Mexican side, but she never grew up with her Mexican side of the family because her dad was in jail. She doesn't speak Spanish. She doesn't know Spanish. That doesn't take away from her heritage, but it is what it is. Anyway, as I was stating, Blueface was crashing out that one time because she left. He lost his family. He was in the car with his grandma. He was crying because he knew for a fact he effed up. He knew it. And then she decided to stand on business and say, no, I'm not coming back there. I want my own place. She was down and out for a while, as any woman would be, because you give somebody a second chance and then they get all drunk up and high up and blow it. But we know how it is when you drink and you do this and that. We was all young before, so I can't take away from that. I used to drink. A lot of us used to drink, as we're, younger and living life. But it's just that long story short, Blueface just wasn't ready to settle down yet. He wasn't ready to be a man. Did he love, or does he love Jaidyn? Obviously he does. Anybody that say he doesn't is crazy. I'm not talking about, because people be like, well, if he don't love her, if he loved her, he wouldn't do this, that, and the third. Yes, I'm not talking about in a romantic type of way, like being real. I'm talking about he loved her as a family, the same way you would love your mom, the same way you would love your brothers and sisters, the same way, you know, you would love your best friends. Like me, I have my friends since I was years, 20 years and more. I've been friends with my friends. That's the type of love when I say he loves her unconditionally, because that's his family. At the end of the day, she was there way before the money, way before the fame. So it's a different type of love, and it's a different type of loyalty. Obviously, if all his money and all the accounts is in her name. So now, and a lot of people, I hate when a lot of people say that, oh, that Jaidyn supporters or Jaidyn fans want them to be together. I can't speak for all her fans or all her supporters, but a majority of us don't want her with him. I mean, Blueface, outside of the villain he plays on social media, is actually a nice person and a nice guy. He's just young, money. He plays the villain very well. He has his moments a lot of times. You know, he get to drinking and smoking and acting up. We know how he is, but none of us is perfect. But nobody said, I don't think a lot of us want her with him. But are they family? Yes. Do they have kids together? Yes. Are they business partners? Very much so. Is everything in her name? Yes. Can he trust her? Absolutely. But who wants them to beef? Like, that beef and stuff gets old. The drama gets old. It's draining. If anybody knows, drama is draining. That will suck the life out of you. Some people just want peace as they get older. Some people just want, you know, just to be, you know, just to live. Like, life is short. Beefing and that drama, that shit gets old. I mean, excuse my language for, I'm not supposed to cuss, but on here. But on the other hand, I've seen it for myself. As I was saying earlier, I did a test, a social, you know, test of my own. Negativity and drama does bring views. It does bring the money. That's what people gravitate towards. I made a video. I made a positive video. I made an exercise video. I made a mother video. And then I made a video being sarcastic, you know, saying, I think I said, like, I got so many baby daddies, this, that, and the third. Oh, yes, I hate that they do that too. They always compare. Yes, they very do. There's nothing to compare, though. I hate that when you compare two different people that are just two different people. The whatchamacallit fans always compare Jaidyn to Rock. They always compare them to, but there's no comparison. They're two separate people. That's like comparing apples and oranges or something. Why would you compare those two type of things? Apples to oranges. They're two people. Jaidyn's been there since she was a kid, knew him way before the money, way before the fame, way before any of that. Like, there's no comparison. There's nothing to compare. She has 2 kids to him. She knew him before the world knew him. So it's nothing to compare. I think that's weird that they do that a lot. And they're too evil. If it wasn't that wasn't the case. They're two separate people. I hate that people, but that happens a lot in life. And I hate that everybody makes everything competition. That's so dumb. And if you like one person, they feel like you hate the other person. We are grown adults. I've never seen so many grown adults act like children. It is crazy. And then also it's a lot of hypocrisy as well. The things that they bash Jaidyn for, mind you, because I don't care. That's how I feel. Like, that was Jaidyn, man. That was Jaidyn baby dad. That was Jaidyn's everything before anything and everybody. So I'm not saying she owns him, but excuse me, because that's how I feel about mine. Like, that's me. That was me. Like, y'all can't tell me nothing. I don't care. So whoever comes after, that's on y'all, but y'all can't tell me nothing. Or, you know, but they do a lot of hypocrisy on here. There are a lot of hypocrite. Like, they put her down for a lot of things. They make excuses for the other one for, which I don't understand. When she got back with her, what are your thoughts on his mom? I actually used to like Carlissa. I'm not saying I don't like her now, because anybody that was willing to support my business, because I am a business owner, she supported my business. Before she had all them followers, when she only had like 40 something K followers, she would share my business and she supported my business. And that goes a long way with me, because I'm my own person. I have my own brand, and she had a bigger following than me at the time. So she still do now, because she has a big following. But she was all right with me at first. But I've told her, when you get to calling, because I'm half Puerto Rican and I'm black, so when you get to calling people's, you know, names, not nice names, and maids and stuff like that, oh no, I do not agree with that. I do not like that. I don't care how mad you are. I don't care if it's, you know, getting you followers. That I did not agree with. That's the main thing I did not like that she did, and I told her. And apologies go a long way with me as well. So just recently, when she got online and apologized and stuff like that, you know, that went a long way with me. Her apologizing and accountability. Accountability and a sincere apology goes along with me, and accountability. Now, if you keep doing the same stuff, and, you know, then the apology don't matter anymore, because it's about action. But accountability goes a long way. And that's what a lot of people don't realize, and a lot of people don't take accountability for their actions. But my grown behind got on here, because you're not going to tell me who I like and who I didn't like. And I remember when all this was first happening, and Jaidyn only had a, you know, I ain't going to say only had a small group of supporters, but there was a few groups of us, you know, that had her back before she, you know, blew up and stuff. We knew the truth about the situation, and people were like crazy. People were bullying us. People were talking shit. Like, they were like on us bad. And then, but I don't really worry about that type of stuff though, because eventually you know, the truth always come to light, and it did. And people start realizing certain stuff. And I always say, put yourself in somebody else's shoes. If that was y'all baby daddy, if that was y'all husband, y'all be going to war and going to bat. So the only people that could agree with certain stuff is people that have been side chicks, or people that have been messing with somebody else's husband, or you know, certain stuff like that. Because certain stuff I would never agree with, or people that are somebody's second and third baby mom, which I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, because life happens. But certain stuff morally you can't agree with, or you can't make excuses for this person but then turn around and bash this person for the same stuff. This, you know what I'm saying? That's the stuff I hate. That's the stuff that gets on my nerves. Like, don't sit there and say, oh, this person dumb for going back to somebody that's the only person she ever knew, and that's the only person she ever been with. But then when this person go back, it's, oh, he loves her or she loves him, just let them live their lives, blah 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 blah. Okay, if that's the case, because that's how I feel about everything. It ain't my business, you know, go ahead, do what you want to do, but don't make excuses for this person. And then when this person does it, y'all call them dumb when they have more of a quote unquote excuse, because that was their man first. And then a lot of times I hate when people were like, oh, well, that's not her man because he was cheating on her the whole time, da 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 da. But when he gets back with the other person, when he does cheat, and he openly says he messes with multiple women. So when he does cheat, everybody's down on women's down on women's back, like, oh, you know, this, that, and the third. Well, that's not her saying that's her man. That's not her man. Y'all just said it wasn't Jaidyn's man, because basically it was okay for the girl to come in and cheat with him, mess with him, because he was messing with other women anyway. But then if it's done to her, y'all, that's not her man then either, because that's not the only person he's messing with or talking to. Everybody knows that. So who man is it? If it ain't her man, it ain't her man. It ain't nobody's man. But as one of hundreds and thousands of Jada supporters, I will say, no, we do not want them together. Do we want them to co-parent? Do we want them to be at peace? Do we want them to be business partners if they have to be? Yes, because business, you know, everything's written a certain way. Absolutely. But that man's not ready to settle down yet. And maybe not till he's 30. A lot of men don't really settle down too much until they're hit 30 years old. But my thing was, I'm glad that a lot of people have, you know, come to realization that Jaidyn's not a bad person. She's not a bad mom. She hasn't done anything. I'm not saying she's perfect. None of us is perfect. But when people get to poking at you, what are you going to do? At the end of the day, that girl was minding her business. They came into her house and her relationship, no matter what the relationship looked like. So she has any right, if she did want to come on here and acting a fool and this and that, she had every right to. But I'm glad she's choosing to be the bigger person, because she has a daughter now as well. And she's choosing peace. And she's choosing to get to the bag and mind her business. That's the best way to do it. So nobody can really hate on her. But as far as, like I said, a Blueface, when people say he loves her. He loves her like if that was his family. He's always going to make sure she's okay. I have messages from, for days between me and him. And then I also have the messages when he was crashing out. And when he was crashing out because she left him. And sometimes I think about, I was going to post it. But when you post that type of stuff, I learned there's a lot of negativity that comes with that as well. And a lot of energy that I don't want for my brand. And I remember a lot of people saying, why did you take Blueface out of your bio? Because he went a way that wasn't with my brand. And the negativity, I prefer peace. I don't need these crazy fans. I done blocked over 200, 300, 400 people. Like, you would think these people are best friends or family with this other person or these other people. Like, what the heck? Like, I actually talked to him, not saying I'm better than everybody else, but I actually talked to him, had a conversation with him, and had a relationship with him. So I got to know him better than outside of the villain he plays. But it's sad, because point being was that when he was trying to be a family man and I was his PR quote-unquote assistant, and he was trying to do the right thing and trying to be better, and I remember he wrote me, and that's when he wrote me and said, stay down, watch, I'm going to do a 360 and everybody's going to say you were right. Because he was trying to do better. Do you know that negativity and the drama got him more attention and got him paid more? Like, that's sad as a world and as an online place, that drama breeds more and negativity breeds more and gets more views, and everybody should be held accountable for that, because we all, people tune into that more, and that's kind of sad. That's what brings traction. If you go to any of these blogs, if you see them when they post something positive, as to if they post something negative, what gets more comments and likes, and what gets more controversy, and what people more tune into is the negativity and drama. And then people complain about it, but they still feed into it and still see it. I got to the point one time I just blocked all the blogs because it was just too much, and you could feel the energy. Like, I'm an empath, I could feel all the energy. I just blocked all the blogs. Nothing against them, it's just I didn't want to see that on my timeline, and not just with Blueface, and I'm just with everything. Blogs, jobs are to post that type of stuff because that's what gets them paid. Same thing with Blueface. Negativity, drama, all that gets him paid. He tried to pay the Family Guy, this, that, and the third, but people wanted him to be the villain. And then he even said it himself, he got that for people to stop liking him because he got used to people not liking him. So he's crazy. He said he's not liking him, and he is a really good person outside of social media. I can see why people are drawn to him outside of social media, or like him outside of social media, because he is a nice person. He is a good person. And I met him through having a dispute, but then we had a private conversation, and he was actually really nice and actually tried to motivate me and stuff like that. And that's when he was okay with me. But he did a lot of things I didn't agree with, I didn't care for, but who am I? I tell him about himself. My job was to encourage him to do the right thing or not to do certain things, which a lot of times he did listen, and then sometimes he didn't, especially if he was drinking or something, and nobody could tell me nothing when I used to drink either, so I can't even say nothing about that. But when it comes to him and Jaidyn, people forget she left him this time. He didn't leave her. People keep forgetting. She left him. They got her a place, and she went about her business. He was sick about it. He was crashing out about it, and then he moved on, or quote unquote moved on. But that's all that was. But I was not his assistant. I hate people saying I was his assistant. I wasn't his assistant. I was his PR rep assistant. There's a difference. It was my job to help him change his image and help him to be a better person, which he was really trying at some point. But the media and the masses and the people love the drama. That's what got him paid. That's what gets him paid. He wanted to do rap stuff. He wanted to do music. That's his thing, his niche. That's why he started Rap Queens. That's what he was really into. But the drama is what people start feeding into, and you know, that's what was getting him paid. That's what was getting him, you know, the most clicks on his pages and video, YouTube, and different things like that. So it's like, that's just the way it is. That's just the way the world works, in the social media world at this point. To be for real, it's kind of sad that that's what gets more views, negativity and drama, but I'm not surprised. Everybody knows that. But other than that, yep, I just was getting back on here from earlier. My phone got hot and died. I'll probably be back on here later.